I didn't find out my marriage was over in a dramatic moment. There was no shouting, no confrontation, no scene. I learned the truth on an ordinary Tuesday morning, while my coffee went cold on the kitchen counter. My husband was in the shower upstairs. Steam crept down the hallway. The water ran steady and familiar, 15 years of routine humming in the background like it always had. Then his phone buzzed. I didn't pick it up. I didn't snoop. I didn't even mean to read it. It was just there on the counter, screen lighting up. Can't wait to see you tonight. Tell her you've got book club again. Say it ran late. Again, that word lodged in my chest. Book clubs don't come with instructions. They don't need reminders about lying. I stood there holding my mug as the heat bled out of it, my heartbeat suddenly too loud. My brain tried to protect me, rewinding explanations, rearranging facts, insisting I misunderstood. He'd been going to book club for months. Different nights, always late, always with vague, rehearsed summaries I never challenged. Why would I? 15 years teaches you how to trust, or at least how to believe you should. That evening, before he came home, I asked our daughter about it. She barely looked up from her laptop. Oh yeah, he loves that. Who else goes? A shrug. People. Friends, I guess. Why do you care? That question, sharp, defensive, hit harder than the text message. Why did I care? Because somewhere between the steam on the bathroom mirror and the casual way that message talked about lying to me, I already knew. And by the end of that week, I would learn something worse. This wasn't just an affair. It was coordinated, planned. And the person helping my husband betray me was our own daughter. When people talk about 15-year marriages falling apart, they imagine something loud, screaming fights, doors slammed hard enough to crack the frame, a clear villain, a clear victim. Ours didn't start that way. It started quietly, normally, almost boringly happy. I met my husband in my late 20s when life still felt open-ended instead of scheduled. He was steady, predictable in the best way. The kind of man who showed up on time, remembered appointments, and never raised his voice because he didn't believe arguments needed volume. I liked that. I needed that. We built our life the way responsible adults do, slowly, carefully, checking boxes as we went. Marriage, mortgage, weekend routines, shared calendars. A daughter who arrived after years of trying and became the center of gravity for everything afterward. For a long time we were good. Not movie love good. Real life good, grocery lists on the fridge, inside jokes after bedtime. The comfort of knowing exactly how the other person takes their coffee. He worked a lot. Work trips blurred together. I carried more of the home details and told myself that was balance. And maybe it was for a while. Our daughter adored him, put him on a pedestal the way kids do when one parent feels slightly out of reach. He was the fun one, the impressive one. I didn't mind. I was proud of how close they were. Then she became a teenager and the house shifted. More closed doors, more silence when I walked into a room. I told myself it was normal. If there were cracks, I didn't name them. So when he started book club, it sounded harmless. A hobby, a break from work. He kept it vague. Good discussion, same group, nothing worth detailing. Our daughter mentioned it, too, casually, like it was just a fact of his life. That felt like proof. Proof everything was fine. Proof I was imagining things. Proof 15 years didn't unravel for no reason. Trust doesn't disappear all at once. It thins slowly, stretched over routines until you don't notice how fragile it's become. Then the first real crack didn't come with proof. It came with tone. My husband started guarding his phone, not dramatically, just in small adjustments. Screen angled away. Notifications silenced. Stepping into the hallway for calls he used to take on the couch. If I noticed, I told myself it was work. Work explained everything. But book club multiplied, and he came home too relaxed for an evening that was supposedly strangers debating novels. Once there was wine on his breath, another time, a faint floral scent that wasn't mine. Not strong enough to accuse, just strong enough to stick. I tested him lightly. New detergent? I said, smiling like it didn't matter. He laughed too fast. Probably someone in the group. Someone. I didn't press, but I started watching. And I started noticing our daughter. The way she tracked his schedule. The way she seemed to know he'd be late before I did. The way she went protective when I asked simple questions. One evening, while clearing plates, I asked who organized the group. She hesitated, just long enough to matter. I don't know, she said. Someone from school, I think. School. The word sat there unfinished. Another night, half joking, I said maybe I'd come with him sometime, that I missed reading with other adults. Her answer came too quickly. I don't think he'd like that. Why not? He likes having his own thing. Space from what? She didn't answer. She just retreated upstairs like the conversation wasn't worth completing. That's when the feeling started. Not suspicion, not yet. Unease. Like noticing a song is slightly out of tune after you've been humming along for months. On Thursday, I watched him get ready. The extra care. The cologne he only used when he wanted to impress someone. What are you reading this week? I asked. He didn't look up. The same one. Which one? A pause, controlled. The Vanishing Half. I nodded and filed it away. When he kissed me goodbye, it felt like habit. Polite, automatic. After he left, the house went too quiet. Something was happening in my family, and I was the only one not in on it. I hired a private investigator the next morning. That sentence still doesn't feel like it belongs to me. I wasn't the kind of woman who checked phones. I believed privacy was respect, and respect was the backbone of marriage. But respect had already been broken. I was just late to realizing it. 3 days later, an email arrived while I was at work. No dramatic subject line, just my name and a timestamp. I locked my office door before opening it. The photos loaded slowly. My husband walking into hotels with a woman I didn't recognize. Different dates, different places, always careful, always staggered. Like a system. Methodical, deliberate. My hands were shaking by the last image, but the addendum was what broke me. Your daughter appears to be in frequent contact with the other woman. I stared at the screen, certain I'd misunderstood. Then I opened the attachments. Text messages, timestamps, screenshots. Nothing explicit, nothing sexual. Just frequent, strategic. She's leaving soon. He'll be working late. You're good. My breath caught. My 17-year-old daughter was helping coordinate her father's affair. The investigator dug deeper. The woman was her English teacher. AP Literature, early 30s. They'd met at a parent-teacher conference I missed because I was traveling for work. The messages went back months. At first, they were normal. School updates, essays, college prep. Then the tone shifted. My daughter talking about how unhappy her father seemed, how I worked too much, how he felt unappreciated, how he deserved to feel wanted again. She hadn't stumbled into this. She had built it. Thursday came fast. I watched my husband get ready like I was seeing him for the first time. The confidence of someone who believed his lie was airtight. What are you reading tonight? I asked. The same one, he said, barely looking at me. Which one? The Vanishing Half. Thought you finished it. We're doing a deeper dive, he said, and kissed my cheek. Then he left. I waited until our daughter came down for dinner. Dad out? She asked. That's what he said. We ate in silence. Then I set one careful question on the table. How's your English teacher? She froze. Fine. Your dad met her at that conference, right? A beat. I guess. I let the quiet stretch long enough to feel like truth. I was thinking maybe I'll join him sometime, I said evenly, if it's really just a group. Her face drained of color. I don't think he'd want that. Why not? He likes having his own space. Space from what? Her chair scraped the floor as she stood. I have homework. She left her plate untouched and disappeared upstairs. My husband came home late. He smelled like wine and something floral. How was it? I asked. Good, he said too quickly. Really good. What did you talk about? Themes, he said. Identity. Family. Annoyance edged his voice like questions were an inconvenience. I'm taking a shower. I stayed in the living room, opened my laptop, pulled up the report, the photos, the messages, the timestamps. When our daughter came back downstairs and saw the screen, she stopped. You okay? She asked. Interesting question. Do you think I am? I said, and turned the laptop toward her. Do you want to tell me where your father really goes on Thursday nights? Her mouth opened, then closed. I don't know what you mean. Yes, you do. My husband came downstairs, hair wet, wearing pajamas. What's going on? Book club, I said. I was asking where you really go. His face changed instantly, too fast to be innocent. Book club, he repeated carefully. With your daughter's teacher? I asked. The room went dead quiet. I turned the laptop toward him. Photos, messages, proof. For a moment, no one spoke. The house felt suspended like the walls were holding their breath. He stared at the screen, then at me. Where did you get this? He asked, calm in a way that felt practiced. A private investigator, I said. My voice sounded distant, steady. You hired someone to follow me? He snapped. I hired someone to tell me the truth, I replied. It was easier to find than you thought. Our daughter made a small sound, half gasp, half sob. Mom, please, she said. Don't. Don't what? Don't say it out loud? Don't make it real? I've read everything, I said, turning to her. Every message, every time you told her when he'd be late, every time you made sure I wouldn't be home. Tears flooded her eyes. I was trying to help, she said. You were both miserable, I could tell. My husband stepped forward. This isn't on her. She coordinated it, I said. That's not fair, he shot back. She's a kid. She's 17, I replied. Old enough to understand lying. Old enough to understand betrayal. Our daughter started sobbing, ugly, breathless. Mom, I didn't think you'd care, she cried. You're always working. He was lonely. Lonely. The word landed like a slap. So you decided I was disposable, I said quietly, that our marriage was optional. My husband raised his voice. This is getting out of control. No, I said. This is it finally being in control. We can explain this, he said, trying to pivot. I don't want an explanation, I replied. I want you out. The words hung between us. Out of this house, I continued, by the weekend. You can't kick me out. This is my house too. Watch me. Our daughter panicked. Please, stop. We can fix this. Fix. That word felt almost insulting. You fixed it already, I said. This is just the aftermath. My husband softened his tone like he was trying a different strategy. 15 years, he said. We owe it to each other to try. There is no we anymore, I said. You ended that when you stopped coming home honestly. I'll end it, he said quickly. I'll cut contact. Counseling. We can start over. I shook my head. You don't start over after months of planning, I said. You don't start over when your child is involved. The word sat heavy in my chest before I said it. I want a divorce. My husband looked stunned, like he didn't believe I'd actually say it. You're overreacting, he said. Silence. You have until Sunday, I said. Figure out where you're going. And her? He asked, nodding at our daughter. She can stay if she wants, I said. Or she can go with you. That's her choice. This is insane, he said. No, I replied. Insane was trusting my family and being betrayed by both of you. This is consequences. Sunday came and went. They didn't leave. My husband acted like time would fix it. Guest room, careful sentences, avoidance. Our daughter stayed upstairs, doors closed, crying quiet. By Monday morning, the house felt poisoned. I called a lawyer. Not angrily, calmly, methodically. Married couples couldn't just evict each other, he explained. The law moved slowly. You can force the issue, he said, but it will take time. I hung up and sat at the kitchen table, the same one where my coffee had gone cold, feeling something settle into place. If they wouldn't leave, I would. That night I packed a suitcase. Essentials. Documents. A few things that felt like mine. I walked out. The hotel room smelled like bleach and unfamiliar detergent. Neutral. Temporary. Safe. My phone rang less than an hour later. Mom, you need to come home, our daughter said, frantic. Dad's freaking out. That's not my problem, I replied. She won't stop crying. Still not my problem. What am I supposed to do? I closed my eyes. You sit with the consequences of what you helped create, I said, just like I am. She hung up. After that, the pattern formed quickly. Crying, anger, silence, repeat. My husband tried calling from different numbers. I stopped answering. Then the emails came. Long explanations. Stress. Things just happened. Our daughter only wanted everyone to be happy. I forwarded everyone to my lawyer. This is excellent. Keep everything, he wrote. The school situation escalated faster than I expected. The principal called me in, said there were concerns regarding my daughter's English teacher, and wanted my perspective. I brought the investigator's report. She read it slowly. Her expression changed line by line. This is extremely serious, she said, especially given your daughter's involvement. What happens now? I asked. I can't discuss personnel decisions, she said carefully, but I can tell you this will be handled. When I got back to the hotel that evening, my husband was waiting in the parking lot. I didn't know how he found me. We need to talk, he said. No, I replied. You're destroying everything, he insisted. I laughed once, short, humorless. I didn't destroy anything, I said. You did. I'm just not cleaning it up for you. I made a mistake, he said. Mistakes are accidents, I replied. This was months of planning. He stepped closer. What do you want from me? Nothing, I said. Sign the papers. Leave me alone. What about our daughter? He demanded. Are you abandoning her? She helped you betray me, I said. She has to deal with that. She's a child. She's 17, I replied, and she knew. He reached for my arm. I stepped back. I want our family, he said. I want you. I met his eyes. You should have thought about that before book club, I said. I walked past him and locked my hotel door. In the quiet moments, lying alone in that sterile room, I finally understood something I'd avoided for years. Silence isn't peace. It's just the pause before consequences arrive. The dark moment didn't come all at once. It crept in, quiet hours with no calls, no emails, no tasks. Just me, alone, staring at a ceiling I hadn't chosen. That's when grief hit. Not anger, not betrayal. Grief. I woke one night with my heart racing, convinced for a split second I'd imagined it, that I could go home and slide back into my life like none of this happened. Then the images surfaced: hotel lobbies, timestamps, my daughter's words. I didn't think you'd care. I sat up and pressed my hand to my chest. I hadn't cried yet. That scared me. During the day, I was functional, efficient. I signed documents, returned calls, answered my lawyer like someone managing a project. But at night, the weight settled in. 15 years. I replayed everything, not to punish myself, but because my brain wouldn't stop asking the same question. Was I really that easy to replace? My daughter stopped calling after that first week. I told myself she needed space. But underneath was something darker. What if she didn't miss me? One afternoon, I sat in my car after work and couldn't bring myself to turn the engine off. I watched strangers walk past, living intact lives, and felt like I'd slipped out of sync with the world. My phone buzzed. "Please, I'll do anything," my husband wrote. I didn't respond. Then he sent the one message designed to hook into my guilt. "She's not eating. She barely talks. You're hurting her." Guilt surged fast and vicious. He was using our daughter as leverage, and it was working. That night, I cried for the first time, quietly, shoulders shaking on the edge of the bed. At my lowest point, a thought crossed my mind: quiet and dangerous. The idea scared me enough to stand up immediately. That's when I realized how close I was to losing myself. The next morning, I called my lawyer and asked him to move faster. I booked the earliest therapy appointment I could get, and I said the truth out loud to someone who wasn't involved. My family betrayed me, and I don't know how to carry that without breaking. A few days later, my daughter finally texted, "Do you hate me?" The words knocked the air out of my lungs. I stared for a long time, then typed back carefully, "I don't hate you, but I'm deeply hurt, and that doesn't disappear just because I love you." She didn't reply. But something shifted. The turning point didn't arrive with revenge. It arrived with clarity. It happened the morning my lawyer forwarded an email with one line beneath it. "This is very helpful. Please don't respond." It was from the affair partner, my daughter's English teacher. Long paragraphs about emotional connection, how it developed naturally, how no one meant to hurt me, how my daughter only wanted her father to smile again. I read it twice, and something inside me clicked into place. This wasn't confusion. It was entitlement. They believed they were justified. I forwarded it to my lawyer with everything else. "She should not be contacting you directly. This strengthens your position significantly," he wrote. The school investigation escalated shortly after. The principal called again, formal, measured, and asked me to come in. I brought everything. She read, took notes, asked clarifying questions. Her face tightened when she reached the part about my daughter coordinating meetings. "This crosses multiple ethical lines," she said, "and legal ones." When I left the building, my hands were steady. That night, my husband showed up at my hotel again. This time he looked smaller. "Please," he said, "it's done. I ended it." "As of when?" I asked. "Weeks ago." I didn't argue. I just opened the call logs my lawyer had obtained. "These are messages between you and her," I said, "from 3 days ago." His face drained. "Those were just closure," he said. "Closure doesn't come with 90 texts," I replied. For the first time, I wasn't angry. I was finished. The next mediation meeting included our daughter. She sat between us, shoulders hunched, eyes down, like she wanted to disappear. The mediator asked simple questions. "Where do you feel safest? Do you feel comfortable with both parents? What do you want right now?" "I don't know," she said quietly. My lawyer spoke about concerns: ongoing contact, environment, manipulation. My husband promised again. The phone record said otherwise. Silence filled the room as the mediator reviewed them. The proposal came quickly. Primary custody to me until our daughter turned 18. Limited visitation for him. Mandatory therapy for our daughter. My husband's lawyer didn't object. As we stood to leave, my daughter looked at me. Eyes red, exhausted, changed. "I really thought I was helping," she said softly. "I know," I replied. "That's what makes it so serious." Something heavy passed between us. Not forgiveness, not yet, but truth. That was the turning point. Not when I won, not when he lost, but when the story stopped being about betrayal and became about consequences. The fallout didn't explode. It collapsed. The divorce moved faster than I expected because there was nothing left to debate. Evidence has a way of cutting through denial. My husband hired a cheap lawyer who spoke confidently until the documents were placed in front of him. Misuse of marital funds, hotel charges, joint cards, affair expenses, and, quietly devastating, documentation of our daughter's involvement. The real fight wasn't money. It was our daughter. He pushed for primary custody, called me unstable, said I abandoned the home. My lawyer countered calmly. Stable environment, therapy, boundaries, no manipulation. My husband exploded. She's a child! And children still need boundaries, my lawyer replied. The mediator intervened. Outside the room, my daughter wouldn't look at me. I hate this, she whispered. I know, I said. That doesn't mean it shouldn't happen. School fallout came next. The investigation concluded quietly but decisively. The teacher was terminated. Teaching license suspended. Inappropriate relationship with a parent, involving a student in facilitating it. I didn't celebrate, but I didn't feel sorry either. My daughter gave a formal statement and called afterward, hysterical. They asked me everything, she sobbed. Everyone knows now. Yes, I said gently. And this is why what you did mattered. Then she called her brother, away at college, distant through all of it. Is it true? He asked me later. Yes. He said I was being hard on her. I'm being honest, I replied. Hard would be pretending this didn't damage her. My husband tried one last time. He showed up at my office. Security called me down. They're both here, the guard said. Your husband and your daughter. They stood in the lobby, desperate, exposed. We need to talk, my husband said, as a family. We're not a family anymore, I replied. Yes, we are, he insisted. We always will be. My daughter looked shattered. Mom, please, she said, just listen. I've listened for months, I said, while you both lied to me. People were staring. Can we go somewhere private? He asked. No, I said, I'm working. If you want to talk, call your lawyer. I don't want lawyers, he said. I want my wife. You should have thought about that before book club, I replied. My daughter sobbed. Sorry doesn't fix this, I said gently, and nothing else will. I walked away. The second mediation meeting ended it. Primary custody to me until she turned 18. Limited visitation for him. Asset division pending final hearing. The divorce finalized months later. I kept the house. Retirement split slightly in my favor. Savings divided unevenly. I pay alimony 2 years. Temporary. Writing those checks hurts, but not as much as staying would have. My daughter moved in with me full-time. Turned 18 shortly after the papers were signed. Legally free to go wherever she wanted. She chose to stay. She's in therapy now, twice a week. Learning, slowly, that love doesn't mean fixing someone else's loneliness by breaking someone else. We're not healed, but we're talking. She sees her father occasionally. He lives in a small apartment now, still angry, still convinced he's the victim. That part no longer surprises me. The fallout didn't destroy me. It stripped everything down to truth. And for the first time in a very long time, I wasn't living inside someone else's lie. The house feels different now. Quieter, yes, but not empty. It's mine again. Not because my name is on the deed, but because nothing inside it requires me to pretend anymore. I repainted the walls, replaced furniture, gave away the things that kept dragging me back into rehearsing the past. Starting over doesn't feel good or bad. It feels honest. My daughter leaves for college soon, out of state. She says she needs distance from the town, from the story, from the version of herself that tried to fix adult problems with secrecy and lies. I don't blame her. We talk more now, carefully, without pretending the past didn't happen. A few nights ago over dinner, she said, I really am sorry. Not the rushed apology from before. This one had weight. I know, I said. Do you forgive me? She asked. I'm working on it. She nodded, didn't argue. When will you? She asked quietly. When it stops hurting, I said. She accepted that. Some wounds don't close on a schedule. My ex still emails sometimes. Late night regret, what ifs, apologies that arrive far too late to matter. I don't respond. My lawyer advised against it, but even without that advice, I wouldn't. Closure doesn't come from conversation with the person who broke you. It comes from choosing yourself after they didn't. My son came home from college recently. The first time we'd been together since everything happened. How are you really? He asked. Better, I said. Not healed, but better. He smiled. You seem stronger. I am. Not because I survived betrayal, but because I didn't let it rewrite my worth. Some days I'm still angry. At my ex, at my daughter, at myself for not seeing it sooner. But anger fades when you stop feeding it with denial. What remains is clarity. Trust isn't blind loyalty. Love isn't self-erasure. And family doesn't get a free pass to betray you. My daughter asked me yesterday if I'd come with her to college orientation. Just us. A road trip. Of course, I said. I'll be there. She hesitated. Should Dad come? That's up to you, I replied. She thought for a long moment. I don't want him there. Then don't invite him, I said. She smiled. Small, real. We leave next week. It won't fix everything. It won't erase the damage. But it's a start. And sometimes after everything you've lost, that's enough.